Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome back to today's weather tonight. Here, as always, I'm Cloud Hudson. I'm your co-meteorologist today, your comedian meteorologist. Um, let's see, how's everybody doing out there? All right, let's just jump into it. I always wondered why people said that, and now I get it. They're not just quoting Philip DeFranco. They're for real. Like, let's just jump into it. Okay. Would you guys like? Would you like it if I talked right in your ear like this? Would this make it better for you? I don't think this helps. I don't know. I don't think this helps. I'm gonna put it just a little bit further away. I don't want to turn the gain up though, because it's like a very sensitive mic. Okay. Today, I found out how to put earthquakes on my interactive volcano map. So we're currently looking at both earthquakes and volcano eruptions. And these are earthquakes, I believe I put all, but I don't think they have all. So now we can see on the same map how close the volcanoes are to these eruptions that have been Merapi volcano, Semeru volcano in East Java. That one was 17 hours ago. 10 hours ago, Java. So these happened at the same time almost. Krakatau, baby of Krakatoa. Merapi volcano, of course, going off. God. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. I was going to say, how are they not showing any earthquakes in Japan? We've got continued volcanic eruptions in where I just showed you in Indonesia, Java, Sumatra area, but we've also got active eruptions on Suwanosejima and Sakurajima in the islands in the Kyushu island chain, all these Jima islands. And we've also 6 minutes ago is the most recent one, 19 minutes ago, 16 minutes ago. Oh my goodness. Right now, as I'm going live, we are having another active swarm of volcanoes on the Honshu Peninsula of Western Japan. 15 minutes, 17 minutes. These are all magnitude 4s. Oh my gosh, guys, we are watching this in real time. This is so exciting. 3s and 4s repeatedly swarming off the Noto Peninsula, I guess. Off Noto Peninsula. I've been calling this the Honshu Peninsula. I think it's the Noto Peninsula, actually. But Honshu is I thought I might have been just calling it the wrong place the whole time. Oh, yeah. Near west coast of Honshu, Japan. So this is Honshu. This is the Noto Peninsula. Can you put streets on? Does that help? Yeah, that helps. That helps a bit. Niigata. Nanao. Yeah, these are all very recent. That is very fun. Let's go to interactive earthquake map and see these come alive. Oh, yes, but before we skip off of volcanic activity, well, I'll go back to volcanic activity. Before I skip off of what I was doing here, we did have today a magnitude 5, 10 kilometer. Oh, no, not a 10 kilometer depth, at 2986 depth. So that's slightly different. That might be more of a like funneling in of the energy into that area. Still lots of volcanic earthquake activity. Let's see. Pretty medium deep one here today. And that's the 4.1 there. That's the shallow 4.1. Yeah. Oh, that's the same depth as this one, I can make them bounce when I hover over. The 4.1 is the one on the tall Indian border there. And then this 5 is the one off the coast of Greece there. And I don't see where that one's bouncing, but all of these are here in the Hindu Kush region, border of Tajikistan, Afghanistan, China area. Let's go over to, I've got these on just since yesterday. So some of these are old. Oh, got one just in the middle, southeast of Honshu, Japan. And where the fuck is Honshu if I've been saying this wrong the whole time? Southeast Honshu, Japan. Oh, that's why I've been saying it, because it says near west coast of Honshu, Japan. I think there are better ways for me to describe this. Yeah. This one's right there on that plate boundary. That was a 4.6 at, again, that 27, 29 kilometer depth. This is 4.5 down at 400 kilometers. And then this is where I wanted to see more populate, but let's go latest available. Oh, maybe they haven't happened because I haven't refreshed this since the last 15 minutes. We got new earthquakes off the coast of Japan. And I believe that Dutch Sense did forecast that for Japan. Dutch Sense did forecast a either a 4 or 5 level earthquake again to repeat here in Japan. So that's an interesting forecast confirmation. What else did I want to say about that? I also wanted to note, let's see, I want to note that part later. What is this? Kuril, that was from yesterday. Kamchatka, there we go. Kamchatka, 4.3 earthquake, about 109 kilometers deep. That is a active volcano right now, I think. That's active eruption. Let's go back out of here, turn off streets. I want to go back to, let's turn on the plates. Turn on tectonic plates. Are you guys having fun watching this stream of me just so I'm working on a channel introduction video right now. I am not intending to only stream on this channel. I intend to also upload regular videos. Regular normal type videos. Okay, let's see. Mount Kamchatka. Atlasovo, Russia. These are like so close together. It's hard to click on Kamchatka without clicking on Azmiani. That's just like a continuing. Oh, that's that. And that is the one, that's the part of Kamchatka that's actually erupting. Still some earthquake activity over there too. It's really interesting. I'm a meteorologist by trade, or by trade. I don't sell my meteorology anywhere. I'm a meteorologist by training, but I'm very interested in earth science. And 17 minutes ago, I wish I could animate these. It's all spreading so fast. Okay, there was a 9 off the coast of Canada. I thought that Vancouver. Okay. Got more. Today in Idaho. We had one in Montana as well. These are all sitting over the same like big pot of lava underneath them that fuels the geysers at Yellowstone. Let's see. Had some earthquakes here in Texas. We also had severe weather in Texas today, and we're also having snow. We had tornado watches, snow, all kinds of, but when I get into the weather report, I'll talk about how the southeastern severe weather threat today was a bit of a bust of a forecast. Let's go down. Lots of earthquakes all up and down the coast of Central America and Mexico. Continued earthquakes in Puerto Rico. Continued earthquakes, a 6.0 right next to Sanjay volcano. Sanjay, I don't know how to say it, in Ecuador. And then they've also got the Reventador volcano erupting. Peru has the Sabancaya volcano. Unrest in La Paz, though, because of this eruptive, there's an eruption here and there's a outbreak of earthquakes along Chile, and also at the Chile-Argentina border. So really, Argentina. Why did I say Argentina? That's weird. 13 hours ago, Mid-Atlantic Ridge. That is where it's separating. Let's see if I can turn plates on. I don't know if it'll let me do. I might have scrolled too far over. Yeah, there we go. There's the plate boundary maps. Yeah, that's what I want to see. And really interesting. Oh, I guess it just stops there. Erebus volcano still erupting. Still having magnitude 2 to 3 earthquakes in New Zealand. Sorry, my heater's on in the background. There's where it goes. Up to here. Got Michael volcano in the South Sandwich Islands erupting still, and had a recent earthquake near it. You just love to see a 5.0 in the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. You love to see it. And they've got more earthquakes here in Greece than the interactive earthquake map. This one has more sources, more data sources than the interactive earthquake map, but it doesn't have them color-coded by depth. It doesn't have an animate feature. So, yeah, 4.3, 5s. Border of Greece and Albania again. Let's see. Yeah, they're just all following these plate boundaries, except for here. Got some random tremors up in, not tremors, 2.3s, 2.1s up in Serbia, Croatia. Some unrest in France. I wonder if that's going to make it up to Iceland, because we've had Kverkfjord, 2.6. There have been a lot of earthquakes up here in Iceland. And guys, I think I'm not a forecaster. I'm not a volcano forecaster. I'm not an earthquake forecaster. not even a weather forecaster. I'm a weather forecast reviewer. But if I were predicting things, I'd be like, wow, I think Iceland is going to blow, like the whole thing. What do I want to say about that? I've heard some sources say that Grindavik has been re-evacuated, but I have only heard that from one source. So I'm not sure if that has actually happened officially, or if people are just like, after that guy fell in the hole trying to fill in the crack, if they are just like, yeah, let's just leave. Because really, the open fissure in the Reykjanes Peninsula, where we're having this threat near Grindavik, there's a magma intrusion underneath the whole peninsula. But there's also magma intrusions and chambers underneath the entire Iceland. And this over here is the Grimsvötn volcano that we talked about yesterday, that had its biggest earthquake on record yesterday, 2 days ago. But that was from an event where underground magma comes up and melts the bottom of the glacier on top of the volcano. This is a stratovolcano that has a glacier over top of the volcano. And it'll come up underneath and eventually melt enough water that the glacier becomes buoyant, and that lifts up an area enough for the water to flow out and into the sea. And what is it called? A Circle Club? Something. There's some sort of, I wonder if it'll say the word on here. It's a glacier flood, basically. They had a glacial flood, and that's what the experts are saying registered as the 4.5 or 4.3 that we experienced near the Grimsvötn volcano. But Vatnajökull National Park Vatnajökull is a different volcano that they don't have illustrated on this map right now, right over here. 4 hours ago, 2.6, Reykjanes. Friday, January 12th, we got a 3.9. Let's see. What are they showing here? Uh, 1.7 kilometers northeast of Grindavik. 4.1 kilometers northeast of Grindavik. This is all along that magma intrusion. And this blue line here is the plate boundary. All right. So, and this is the actual Reykjanes volcano. Says Blue Lagoon temporarily closed, but I know that they opened it. Let's see. At 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Still saying that they've reopened it. I can't believe that. I truly don't understand. I mean, I do understand. It's money. It's tourism. But let's X that out. Let's take a look at but yeah, I didn't gloss over too many of these earthquakes. There have been a lot of earthquakes little tremors in Alaska today. There we go. There's that 5.9 we had today. And that occurred during the Venus power, I believe. Yeah, there's all of our earthquakes over in Japan. Oh, and we got more in the Hindu Kush region. So I got a new mouse today too, so you're not hearing me click as loudly. The 4.5 at 10 kilometers was yesterday in the ocean. And then today went that, then that, then that. That means that they washed ashore, basically. They went, whoop. Let's go now to the Coco Ross Rain Gauge Monitoring Network map. This is the snowfall totals. So this is a good estimate of where we saw some significant snow yesterday, because it was, remember, it was measured today, which means that it's for the precipitation that happened in the last 24 hours. So from 7 a.m. yesterday to 7 a.m. today, this is where there was snow. And this is where there was any precipitation. That was, and I can tell you that there was precipitation all across the Western North Carolina mountains. There just might be people saying trace amounts. There was severe weather outbreak in Texas that I want to take a look at on a 48-hour derived winds map. So this, after I went live last night, this thing blew up. It was really fun to watch it overnight just balloon blossom into a big blizzard up here. It went from like a very severe weather threat, because we've got, I've got a drawing thing now. Let's see. We had the polar air coming in here. All right. And then we've got the tropical air coming in here. And they're all mixing right here in Texas. This is also where we are going to get the Great American Eclipse later this year. This is going to be a solar eclipse visible in Texas, in this area. I feel like Texas is right now a very important mixing point for a lot of energies. I've never been. Well, actually, yeah, I have been, but only visited to chase tornadoes. I did chase tornadoes out in Texas for a while. This doesn't have, I think that I can't hear out of my left earbud. It's like very, very faint. That's weird. Am I accidentally on stereo? No, I'm on cardioid. Okay. Look at this. I got drawy tools now. Let's go to the want to do. No, I want to do the sandwich RGB. This one combines multiple bands to give you like a good vertical, just kind of smushes it all together of what's happening at every level. And this is where you can really see this almost like straight line winds. When the direction of the wind is aligned with the overall storm movement, the wind can just book it. The wind can, it's not getting shifted in different directions, so it's moving its own momentum forward. The straight line winds like this cause severe damage. When there's wind in one certain direction for a long time, that's what's called straight line winds. And that's what can do some severe damage, because it's applying this force over the same area repeatedly over time, whereas changing winds will vacillate which direction the force is applied to. But like imagine being in a crowd of people, like you're at a concert or something, and you can stand up even if everyone's bumping into you when everyone's bumping in a different direction. But when everyone crushes to the front, when everyone moves in the same direction, it doesn't matter that you would be able to bounce off of people because everybody's bouncing is going in the same direction. You're just going to go down to the floor. And that's why straight line winds are kind of like the crowd stampede of windstorms. That's why I feel like this is where the subtropical jet is coming in, and this is where that polar jet is coming in, and they are all feeding into this weird little wavy system. I don't know if you can see, it's like a bean or an 8 or like something very organic. There's organic looking waves within this storm. Thankfully, I'm here in the mountains, and so we don't really, this is applying to the Appalachian Mountains in the direction that the mountains lie, which means that we're like kind of good. We're kind of chill, like not very bothered by it. Oh shit, I want to go back to pointer. Let's go to, I want to see air mass. Oh no, I want to see microwave. Goes satellite beaming microwaves down at us every day so that we know what we look like. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, you can really see that line of wind just goes book in it. Like if you try to watch one air parcel, if you try to watch one skosh of air, just approximately one skosh, and it is all just generating out of here. There's no getting rid of this geometry because this wind is coming from the geometry of the two polar jet, the polar jet and the subtropical jet interacting with each other at just the right angles to like, this is their component that they have in common. Very beautiful. See that high night microphysics, high thick cloud. That's a high thick cloud right there. And 10 is very, very cold. So they're starting warm and then they're getting into these big aloft clouds. And now what all of this means is that there's going to be harder and harder observation conditions for anyone downwind. And who's downwind of the Northeast but Iceland? It's made it really hard for them to even have any earthquake data, let alone make predictions based off of it because the quality of the data is affected by the weather. Let's see, what is this light blue? Very low warm cloud and fog and low cool clouds. That is very accurate for what's currently happening in the mountains here. It's definitely like a cool, thick, muggy night, like the amount of humidity in the air that would be like a summertime, only it's the winter. Let's check out null Earth right now for a look at what our current conditions are. We are looking currently at temperature map at 850 millibars. Let's look at the surface. I always say millibars when this one is an HPA, but they're kind of interchangeable. They're not exactly interchangeable, but they're kind of like go as each other. It's like a power of 10 or 100 that like separates them. So I'm used to saying millibars. Oh, you can see that really good tight curve. This is why we're getting so much snow up here. And this is like beautiful lake effect snow machine area. We're sucking in all that warm air. Warm air can hold moisture. Warm air can pick up moisture. It's like a bigger sponge than cold air. Cold air freezes it, turns it into the snow. So when we see something like this, we see a pattern of the, go back to it, draw it again. Wait, before I draw it, I want to go to the jet level. Let's look at it. 500 is the level of non-divergence, kinda, but you can really easily see this here. Well, let's go to 250. Yeah. And that's where we're seeing this big sweep down here and up. And it's really, the axis is like, that's a negatively tilted trough right there. And then this is the allegedly subtropical jet, but it's really, hold on. I'll zoom out just a little bit. Oh shit. Can't do that unless I scrap my whole design. Let's look out. Let's zoom out just a little bit. Okay. This is what I've been talking about. This air that comes and meets in the middle of the country here comes all the way from the middle of the Pacific, practically at the equator. This is something that could combine equatorial moisture and heat with polar. Look at that, just sweeping down, swooping up, sweeping down and swooping up. And this is where they are converging, going in here. Let's take that one off. That makes it less clear. But oh, shit. Let's go back to Earth. Let's look at, so this is what we've got going on at the 250 hectopascal level. Let's look at 500. So we're moving down through the atmosphere, and you can see even now it's got a slightly more, this warm tropical jet has shifted northward slightly. Then we've got 700 layer. This is between 500 and 700 is where you're wanting to see some moisture if you have, let's see what kind of precipitable water we have. So between 500 and 700, this has, yeah, look at all the moisture this has from this level. Let's go to, let's do like green for moisture. All of this area is our source for the moisture. That's a bad, that wasn't good. All of this area, everything that's hot over here, everything that's been heated up all season from El Nino, or well, we're really shifting into an El Nino phase, but we were coming out of a 3-year La Nina phase, which doesn't happen. Usually we're not in it for that long. But this moisture is getting sucked up by this line of winds right here, brought up into, so it's not even Gulf of Mexico moisture. It's not even Gulf of moisture. My signature name for the Gulf of Mexico is the Gulf of Moisture. But this cold polar air comes in. I'm going to do blue for that. It comes in and just dried, bone dry. But that is relative humidity. Like this looks wet, but it's relative humidity. This is very much colder air. So this is, or this is not relative humidity. This is total precipitable water. So it is the same. It's zeroed out Anyway, you can see how this moisture wraps up into, as we go down through the atmosphere past the 700 level. Let's go down to the 50 level, and we'll see the surface winds spiraling this back into the lake area. This is where it's coming up through to, actually, it's really going across this area where there are eruptions, actually. Interesting. I want to go back to green. Goes. Yeah. Let's scrap this. I've done a lot of drawing. Let's go back down. So we've got moisture coming in this way. Got cold coming in this way. And all of it swirling in a cyclonic fashion right around Chicago. Like the Chicago's in the eye of the storm right now. That's at the 850 level. Let's go to 1,000 hectopascal level. Sometimes technically this is inside of the earth. Yeah. That one's at the surface. It's harder to see this. You actually see some offshore flow. And surface obs are showing, yeah. Well, we got that big high pressure system out here, but that still doesn't change the fact that there's a big low that wants to circle things in here. Because look at this up here. Anytime you see this mixing, that's a good low pressure. That's weather. Think of that as this is weather, and this is not weather. I mean, it is weather, but it's like you don't think of it as weather. This is like sunny day spiral, which you would think would be great to come onto the California coast, but it keeps getting sucked into this of snow machine. So if we follow the snow machine, which will, I really think we've had enough in training snowstorms. This is like the third one in a row that's come through this like zoom, 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 this merging of the two jet streams. I think that this might have cooled off the southeast enough to get some freezing rain accumulation and even snow accumulation in the next few and over the next week. There might be snow in Southtown. I'm using this new mouse that's like ergonomic, and I keep accidentally hitting the right click button instead of the left, but like it's supposed to be better design for your hand, because like you sit like this on the desk. Anyway, you can see that from this little illustration and following the wind streamlines that, let's go back up to the upper level to see this. Let's look at wind speeds. Wind power density. No, I want to look at just wind. Okay. This is where you can see this bit that's scooching across here will go here and then all the way up to here. There is a portion of what comes out of the Northeast Canada that goes across Greenland into Iceland. And this is part of what's making it so difficult for them to have observations. Interesting that we had a big earthquake out here today. Always wonder what that does to this. Don't want to look at that. Let's take a look at the latest composite map from the Storm Prediction Center. Let's look at surface obs. Never look at surface obs. It's too scary. 12-hour precipitation. Not really showing a whole lot of accumulation, but like on tropical tidbits on the GFS, this is GFS, which is less aggressive than Euro when it comes to snow. This is our snowfall accumulation in inches estimated. So as soon as we get to Monday, Tuesday, we're looking at possible snow in the southeast, all across the southeast. I mean, we're also already looking at freezing rain right now, happening actively in the moment. It's freezing raining out in Arklatex area, which is this. It's snowing real heavily out here. And you can see out west, they have gotten, you remember how they had a drought, like a significant drought last 2 year, like there was like a 10-15 year drought in California, and last year they were like, oh, it's good that we're getting all this rain because it makes up for the incredible drought that we had. Well, that was partially brought on because there wasn't enough snowpack melt to recharge the aquifers over the yearly cycle like they usually do for like years. This looks like they might get some packed up snow melt. It looks like they might be getting some good snowpack up here that would contribute to the like sustaining the aquifers in California. What I'm saying is it's really good for them to get the snow out here because the upper elevations need it for their climate. What am I doing? Let's just look at that beautiful microwave energy. I love it. Let's take a look at the solar weather today. We've had past 2 days were really loud. We had like 50 coronal mass ejections in the past 2 days. And then yesterday, today, we only had 5. Only 5 coronal mass ejections. Whoa, that's such a small amount. That's actually a huge amount per day, but it's like small for the part of the solar cycle that we're in. As you can see, the WSA and Enlil plasma density and solar wind velocity. This one, I don't know why this isn't working very well, but I don't know. It's not playing for me, but this one is, and you can see they've modeled at least one blast, but we're at a time where this can't really, it's hard to keep up with how many solar flares are happening at once. Let's go to solar activity. Yeah, there's, let's see, what's our proton flux? Looks normal. Solar activity, we only had 1 M-class flare today, as opposed to like the 3 per day that we had the last 2 days. Let's see, what are we at right now with our solar flare X-ray flux? Oh, hovering around C class. Not too bad. This is the one that we had shortly. I mean, I think this was actually, if it was shortly after midnight on UT, then it was actually last night, probably around the time that I was broadcasting. Again, I wonder if there's an M-class flare today while I'm broadcasting. That would be interesting. Let's go to the Solar Dynamics Observatory's observations. Let's go back to selecting. We want to go to the, I think this is the 230 angstroms. No, this is 193. 193 angstrom wavelength pickup. These are all different colors of the sun. You're like, what color is the sun? It's all of those all at once. And we're just looking at each level one by one. Oh, just beautiful. I love watching them dance. Look at the dance of the solar flares, the dance of the solar filaments. That was that big launch we had that had like, yeah. And region 3536 is now off on the sun's far side. there's still so much happening. Every little teeny sparkle is an eruption of some kind, but they may not be like filament launches like that, or breaking out, fizzling, fizzling, fizzling. There's so much happening that I don't even know. Really, I'm not a space weather. I'm not trained in space weather yet. I'm just an enthusiast. I think it's really interesting to look at how pretty the sun is, but like also, I'm pretty sure that this has something to do with inducing resonance with the Earth's core and volcanoes and earthquakes and such, but I don't know how to. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at this tornado. We got like a little plasma tornado over here. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay. Basically, I think that this would be. Wonder if that M class happened at 2:50 UTC. Then what earthquake happened around that? No, we're not going to go hunting for data. Let's take a look at the planets, today's planets, planetary transits. It is currently a Venus day, a Venus hour, about to be a sun hour. So I hope this is a very pretty stream. It's Friday, Freya's day, Venus day. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that weirdly made the print smaller. That sucks. The new moon happened here yesterday. Now our moon is solidly in Aquarius, showing these planets where to go. Not that they would forget, because where else can you go? But we just had a new moon between Mars and Pluto. The sun is going to join Pluto right as it goes into Aquarius, and the sun is going to basically push Pluto into Aquarius. Like, get the heck out of Capricorn. We're done with Pluto Capricorn. We need to do regular Capricorn stuff. We've been in Pluto Capricorn since 2008. We need to do regular Capricorn again for a second, because it's gotten a little toxic. But also, this last decan of Capricorn is the virus, is the pandemic time. Pluto going through these last degrees of Capricorn is when the big pandemic happened. I have a feeling that the elevated levels of virus that we're seeing right now are not caused by, but a symbol of the last days of Pluto in Capricorn. I don't know if y'all are aware, but there are elevated levels of viruses going around, not just the big one, but like all kinds of respiratory viruses. And some of those also cause neurological damage, and Capricorn is associated with the back, spine, knees, wrists, everything that protects the actual nervous central nervous system. Everything that you thought was protecting your central nervous system is a lie. It's really safety and joy that protects your nervous system, not fear and protection. Fear, protection, that's not a paradigm that's going to serve us going forward, I think. Joy and resonance is going to serve us better. How do I know that? Why do I know that? Because I'm a Taurus, and my sun is here at 25 degrees of Taurus, and I have been feeling the upcoming changes of Uranus and Taurus the whole time. Since 2018, I have just been sitting in here stewing in the vibe of everything that is solid and stable is gone. Poof. It's new, but it's gone. Uranus also rules Aquarius, so I feel like it's very appropriate to have a harbinger of Aquarius in the stable, fixed Earth sign of Taurus for years before we get this Pluto and Aquarius transit. I think that this last little bit of Sun conjunct Pluto that's upcoming is going to supercharge this Jupiter and Uranus and get ready for them to join. It's almost like Uranus and Jupiter have been hanging out here, spying on Pluto. Like, when the heck are you going to get out of Capricorn? We're not leaving Taurus until you get out of Capricorn, because we're not going to have Uranus and Gemini at the same time as Pluto and Capricorn again. Okay? Interesting way to say that. Earthquake astrology signatures. I will probably be making a video coming up on major solar events and earthquake events and what their charts look like. Suffice it to say, there's a lot of Earth presence, a lot of mutable presence, a lot of Earth and mutable presence in the charts of significant earthquakes and disasters. Natural disasters. No disaster is natural. The Earth is always changing and moving. It's our response to an anticipation of those changes and movements that creates a disaster. And that includes our communication about potential threats. So listen to your officials, but also listen to your intuition, because it is very important to don't be scared, be prepared. It is possible that there's going to be heightened earthquake activity in 2024. I mean, it's already happening, but I just like to look at the circle chart. But yeah, you see Sun basically carries Pluto over the finish line to Aquarius. Like, let's move it, bub. All right, let's get going. We got to get out of Capricorn, because if Pluto is scary and power and things bigger than humans can comprehend, putting that in Capricorn, a cardinal Earth sign, is going to make the material reality so dense and real. It will make this world feel so real, and I feel like it has. And we are about to clear all that. When we move into Pluto and Aquarius, we are clearing. Now we're opening up a new can of worms, but we are going to clear our thought, clear our mind, clear our bodies of old traumas, and get into the new Aquarian age, one way or another. Let's make sure that I have done my notes again a slightly different way for all you bullet journal nerds out there. Grindavik, Dutchson's warned. There's lots of earthquakes spreading across. Let's hide on stream now, because it really throttles my performance when I've got this dual streamed. Shallow 4s and 5s are still spreading across the Earth, but now they're going from 10 kilometers down to about 30 kilometers down. And in some places, like in the Hindu Kush region, they're going very far down. There are points in the world where earthquake energy goes into and out of the Earth, and it's getting funneled there, but it's still traveling through the plates still. Overnight severe weather in Texas. There was overnight severe weather in Texas, and there were several tornado watches and warnings that happened last night overnight. And then in the morning, it just kind of ran out of juice. Usually overnight, a storm runs out of juice. But this time, the storm ran out of juice in the daytime. We were really expecting the storm. The Severe Weather Prediction Center had a 15% enhanced risk of storms, of tornadoes, of severe weather across the deep south. We kind of saw none of that today. It was like some light scattered rain, some thunderstorms, but no tornado. Absolutely zero tornadoes, no watches or warnings either. So that was a bit of a fail of a prediction from the Severe Weather Prediction Center. But I would rather them have aired on the side of over forecasting than under forecasting, because this would have been, if this was a severe tornado outbreak, it would have been caught everybody off guard because it's January. We don't usually think of January as a tornado time, but it is when it's so warm and moist, and there's just still so much energy in the ocean. Heat is energy, motion is energy, chemical is energy. But anyway, there's so much heat in the ocean. Oh, let me go to sea surface temperatures on null Earth, and then you can see that might ocean sea surface temperatures. Look how hot this dang soup is. And I was talking about the winds blowing across here. Imagine this just like blowing all the air, all the heat and moisture into this into this place. All this heat and activity is mixing right here with all this cold, fast wind coming from the pole. So there's just still, this is a weird looking sea surface temperature map. Let me show you sea surface temperature anomalies. Anomaly meaning difference from average. Anomaly meaning, is it hot or cold? Look how freaking hot the ocean is. And even out here, you're thinking, oh, it's the equator. It's always hot. This is enhanced equator hot. The equator is, let me show you. That yellow and white is peeking out on the map. That means this is how many degrees above average? Fucking. Anyway, we can scroll through days here. I just won't do that. Oh, wait, shit. I forgot to share my screen. There you go. There you go. Now you can see what I'm talking about. Look at all that's the ocean. It looks like it's on fire. Okay. That's why these snowstorm events are turning into slush storm events. And we're weirdly spoiled here on the coast with below average temperatures here. But let me show you the sea surface temperatures. Because apparently you didn't see that when I put it up there. Yeah. That is some warm water. That is some hot water. Okay. This is January. This is not a summertime map. This is January. This is bad. Well, not bad if you're interested in weird weather, but it's bad if you're interested in things being as normal as possible. Let's show you this with the wind streams on there so that I can show you what it's blowing over. See, this is where I'm saying there's polar air blowing in from the north, coming on this train. And then this train is this is a conveyor belt of heat and moisture from the equator straight to Texas, just really straight to here. And when you see the sea surface temperature have a blob over here, this is the Southern Oscillation. This is the El Nino La Nina cycle oscillation. The bubble of warm sea surface temperatures goes back and forth between South America and Indonesia, Australia, it all across the South Pacific, it oscillates back and forth. So this blob will eventually ricochet and move back this way and this way. And let's see. Do you guys like my new drawing tools? I like my new drawing tools. Let's see. Yeah, so I can show you that this air comes, let's just follow the wind streams. Let's follow the wind streams. If we were coming from Hawaii, we would maybe go here, pick up some heat off the Baja Peninsula, cut across Mexico, and then come right up into America. into the United States. This, let's say let's start off here near Mount Kamchatka in Russia. Whoa, well, we'll spin around here in Alaska and cool off for a long time. And then we'll follow these wind streams and look who we meet up with. This Alaskan air meeting with this Hawaiian air right over the continental US. That is what's causing our severe weather, causing all these storms. Let me clear this out and go back to hide this on stream. Sorry, I left you guys hanging for a second. I didn't mean to leave you high and dry. Let's now turn to closing with a little bit of messages from beyond the planets. Messages from the cosmos further out than the planets. They sound better when I struck them with the selenite than when I strike them together. Okay. I've got these motivational speaker cards. They just kind of tell you, you're doing a good job. Well, they also tell you you're doing a bad job, but that it's fine if you're doing a bad job. It's fine. It's really fine. That's the message from the universe I'm getting is it's really okay. Like, don't worry too much. Don't worry so much. It really will be okay. Okay. This has to do with perception and intention. It is my dominant intent to look for what I want to see. Now, you might call that confirmation bias, but I call it manifestation and magic and the power of positive thinking, or the fact that the universe is an algorithm and we can tell it what to give us. Okay. As you deliberately look for things to appreciate, praise, or enjoy, you achieve vibrational harmony with your own source and with all that is good. And then the powerful law of attraction brings more good things to you. I just said law of attraction. Okay. I'm paying attention to the things that I appreciate, praise, or enjoy. I'll achieve vibrational harmony with source. And source, for y'all who aren't initiated in the way of the New Ager, is God, consciousness, universe, collective, big, not oversoul, that's a different term, but like the source of all things. Whatever you think everything came from, that's source. In these woo-woo terms, my woo-woo cards. I do genuinely think that it all works based on perception, attention, and intention, but it's very hard to prove that scientifically so far. We can't even prove that earthquakes and volcanoes are connected to solar weather and atmospheric weather. How are we supposed to prove scientifically the power of perception? Anyway, you guys have been great. Thank you so much for joining me for the stream every night. I really appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, tell your friends about it. Hey, there's this crazy person who thinks that weather has to do with astrology. I'm not really saying what the connection is. I just think they're all the same thing. I don't have to think that they're unrelated. So with that, I do want to say that I feel like we're leading up to the January 20th conjunction of Sun and Pluto in Capricorn. We're leading up to a significant weather event. A significant geophysical event will probably take place. And we've got something brewing in Iceland, but we've also got something brewing almost everywhere else. Japan, Italy, Iceland, Indonesia, Sumatra, actually in Africa as well, in South America, there is, and across the United States, there's lots of tremors going on, but that's more related to not the natural thing. I'm not saying it's fracking, but it's fracking. It's causing a lot of earthquakes across California and Oklahoma. What would you wouldn't think they had much in common, those two states, but they do. Drill, baby, drill. Okay. Let's get off this stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're my parents, thanks for making me. Thanks for keeping me alive, even when I'm just a little weirdo in the basement. It's really sweet. I'm doing my best. All right. Love you guys. Have a good night.